is right. What's up? What's going on, crypto fam? Happy Tuesday. Happy Bitcoin is up day. Happy portfolios are looking healthy day. It's what?
Bitcoin balling, baby.
I know. Let me just say hi, bro. God.
Okay,
All right, fine.
Get into it, baby. Get into it. We got
a treat for you guys.
Much love for our boy
Ben Della
Air. I know everybody's hella confused. Yeah.
Just that Bitcoin.
Bandela L in the house. Aquagana. Bitcoin ballin'. Bring it to you raw. Here we go. Bitcoin ballin', gonna chat callin'. What you need, baby, I got you. Bitcoin ballin', act where we all in. It's our time, no more sleeping. We ballin'. Bitcoin ballin'. We ballin'. Bitcoin ballin', gonna chat callin'. What you need, baby, I got you. Bitcoin ballin', act where we all in. It's our time, no more sleeping. We ballin'. Bitcoin ballin'. You're sleeping. Bitcoin ballin'. Billy in my pocket, moving like stock. I am the bank.
Literally just lost a subscriber. We are at 1139.
So, quick story.
Literally just lost a subscriber.
That's okay. So, quick story. We ran into this gentleman. He was in one of our montage videos. He was the dude dressed in all orange. Did he have a chain on?
I think he did have
I
a
think
chain
he did
on,
have a chain on. My boy Bandela L. Bitcoin Ballin'. His song's on Spotify. We left the link in the description. Pretty cool song, man. I was kind of vibing with it a little bit. That's cool. So anyways, welcome to Sin City Crypto. We're coming at you from our studio here in Sin City, Nevada with another one of our live shows. I am one of your co-hosts, David, your favorite co-host. Before we get into the content, quick disclaimer. Nothing that's said or will be said on this channel should be taken as financial advice. So please do your own research. With that being said, let me introduce you to the man of many drinks, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, and we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also,
I have big news. So one of our community members, Why You Loud? The only thing he's ever said is gang. And today he said LOL.
there we go.
We're breaking through. Go ahead, Robin. Sorry. I thought that was important.
Breaking down barriers.
Yeah.
And we don't just do live streams here. We also do deep dives. Check out the live streams. Check out the deep dives. Just the live stream. See, maybe I forget my intro, man.
It's okay, bro.
You're messing up my mojo.
Yeah, because you have 15. Okay, so
You can't show the labels because they're all. I mean, you can see them all. Yeah, but make sure you got the barcodes on the backside so they don't know what I'm drinking. Okay.
what is this?
It's a portfolio of beverages. Okay.
God.
I have my water, and then I have a sparkling pink grapefruit, natural antioxidants. I do have an energy drink here, and then green tea has a good amount of sugar in it. So I don't know if I'm gonna finish that one. And then I got my Coke Zero. It's all the good flavors of Coke minus the sugar. So
Yeah. Anyways, Robin's portfolio is not the only thing that's bolsterous or robust because Bitcoin is moving. Bitcoin is balling. So is the rest of the crypto market. So,
hey, did you hear
about
we can't have an opinion on it, but
okay,
we can state the facts.
Okay.
There's no more mask mandates on the airplanes.
True. I heard that. And I think
Not allowed to have an opinion on it.
Yes.
Okay, so just clarify that before we get canceled.
In fact, majority of the big airlines have already dropped it, making it optional for people. Not opinion.
I was reading
fact.
an article, and literally the pilot went on mid-flight and was like, "Hey guys,
Take them off.
you can take them on." And everybody was ripping them off. I'm like, wow. That's
You know
where,
what, man?
That's where we're at now.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, my friends.
Go, hey, man.
is
Hey,
what
you
it
know what? But in all honesty, no opinion here. But
Yeah.
you want to wear a mask? Go ahead, man. Do
I
your thing.
respect people's
yeah,
opinions.
Yeah, do your thing, man.
Do you think?
I mean, people have.
Just don't wear those face diapers they give you at the airport if you forget one.
Oh, the free ones.
Oh my
the
God.
ones like you forget your mask at home, and it's
Dude,
like
on the way from
it's like 15 folded up napkins with string.
from Miami to Vegas, I didn't bring one. I didn't bring my mask, and I asked them for one at American Airlines. They gave me literally a tidy whitey that was made into a, and it smelled like
It was
a tidy
like,
whitey. It smelled like someone had just taken it off, and they turned it into a mask. It was absolutely disgusting. So, anyways, man, there is so much to talk about today. I came in here. I'm juiced up. I'm amped up. I know Robin is. Wait 10 minutes from now when he finishes.
Bro,
his
and all this
energy drink.
caffeine and sugar hits me,
Yeah.
bro. Your boy gonna be crunk.
So we're excited. Let's not waste any time. Let's send
We
it over.
got is Tyrone? He's been here before, right?
Yeah, he was here yesterday. He made that big announcement yesterday about the diapers.
Yes, that's right.
Tyrone, welcome to the community. Thank you for bringing value to our community, giving us all the latest up-to-date news on President Biden and what's going on. All right, Robin, let's start this off, man.
Did we?
Oh no, we gotta say what's up to the chat. I'm gonna say what's up to the chat.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Chef Murder, the very first one. Chef, you get an air hug from me, and you get nothing from Robin because he's got a heart of cold. HP Russell Brokioshi, congrats on your $25 in Bitcoin, my friend. Hope you received it. Olga Will, also known as George. And who else we got? We got Sean in the house. What is up, my man? Why you loud? We ain't loud. You loud. AZ Chris, the brother of William. And who else we got? R.A. Daniel. DFib. I can't give DFib. Robin, you got to give DFib his what's up.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of they pulled down my freaking YouTube account here
Why?
on my it like logged me out. Anyways, okay, just go ahead.
Say hi to DFib just real quick.
My boy DFib. What's up, my bro?
Okay, that's all I got. And then Tyrone, welcome back. And I think that's it. Yeah. I think that's it. Awesome. So while Robin's over there logging back into his YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube's done for me.
We did we
No
did
YouTube over my side. So
I did post something on the community tab.
I'm not going to be able to read the chats, but
I did post something in the community tab. So make sure you guys after the show today, make sure you go and comment what you would like to ask. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out. Robin, over to you.
all right.
What the market's looking like.
So, welcome to market overview. All right, so taking a look, Bitcoin sitting at 41.3. You know what? When everybody in crypto space, when all the YouTubers are leaning a certain direction, market goes the other way. So, if you haven't figured that out by now, that's kind of what it is. So, anyways, everybody is talking. Hey, Bitcoin's going to pull back. Bitcoin's going 33,000, 36,000, 35,000, whatever it is. And lo and behold, we did the opposite. So we are at 41.3. We actually hit higher. We hit a higher daily price today than we did earlier in the week when we had that little psych out pump. And then taking a look at the 3 month, we are right where we were about 3 months ago. So there you go. Now, what's the vibe? You know what? There's so many stories or articles or sentiment regarding Bitcoin leaving exchanges, and maybe that has something to do with the price. And we'll discuss that a little bit more detail, give our thoughts. But obviously, there's only 19 million Bitcoin in circulation, and so at some point, it's going to be a supply shock. Let's leave it there. Taking a look at the old crypto bubbles, our favorite visual on the markets. So the larger the bubble.
Are there any other channels using the crypto bubbles, by the way?
The one dude from that partners with Carl from the Moon.
Okay.
I forget it. He bought it in Bitcoin earlier.
Robin, before you move on, will you say giving a lot to our newest friend from Liechtenstein?
Liechtenstein?
His name is Safe Moon.
Senor Safe Moon. Hola! Welcome, Sin City Crypto. GMT still pumping, bro. I mean, this thing is moving, bro.
Yeah,
There's no slowing down. Look, that's the day Taking a look at the week, up 69%. Taking a look at the month, up 487%.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, this thing is just there's no slowing this thing down. Let's see where are we at for the year. I bet you this thing's up for the year. Woo! Look at that, my dude. Up
2,400%.
This thing has outperformed SHIB in the last 12 months. Kind of crazy, huh? Sandbox is up too. We got some Sandbox, or no, we don't have Sandbox news. I did read in the Sandbox is got valued at $4 billion, and they are trying to raise another $500 million. So it's kind of like the thing right now. Everyone's in the bear market, and like, instead of getting a lot of retail FOMO, they're trying to bring in money through investment channels. So big things to come from Sandbox. Definitely think it's a great investment.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
What's up?
If you had to invest in just Sandbox or Decentraland, what would you pick?
I go Sandbox.
Sandbox?
Yeah, Decentraland, it's a little
Lackluster.
It's a little spammy looking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Something about Sandbox, I don't know. Snoop Dogg is more in on Sandbox than he is on
He's got his own little area in Sandbox.
yeah.
Are you a Snoop Dogg fan? I like
what's that?
Snoop Dogg. You know he lives in.
I mean,
he's got a home in
who
Vegas.
doesn't like Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg.
You know, when he performed at the Super Bowl, Snoop Dogg was caught smoking
right before he came out of
which
the
is
tunnel.
funny because it's legal in California.
Literally, he's
And
I wonder when the last time he wasn't high.
but here's the thing. So let's see. I'm gonna pull it up. So
Right, Russell's over here giving our money away to people. Russell, what are you doing, bro? He goes, didn't HP and this person win Bitcoin? No, they won the Arculus wallet, which we will mail out.
So
today.
here he was. This was at the Super Bowl. He was over here smoking, right? And everyone's like, this is like a news story. However, it's legal to smoke.
Okay, Snoop Dogg getting high is not a news story.
This is what I'm saying. This is literally what I'm saying. And somebody made a good point on my social media. They put this up, and they were like, if he was taking a shot of tequila or drinking a beer, nobody would have said anything.
No, that's not true. I mean, I don't know.
Exactly. I mean,
When you think of Snoop Dogg, you think of
but what
marijuana.
I'm saying is that, like, at this point, like, smoking is legal. It's not taboo. Like, why are people like judging this man because he's smoking?
Man needs it to function.
Well, look at these glasses, though.
Yeah,
Look at those things.
20 grand probably. Anyways, let's get back to the markets.
Okay. Got sidetracked there. Ethereum back over 3,000. And Binance for 400. Terra Luna's back on the climb up. We're starting to see more traction out of there. Cardano, 93 cents. Still a great buy, guys. If you're not familiar with Cardano, I don't know where you've been at in the last 2 years, but okay. Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we're at 27. So, starting to see some people getting comfortable with crypto again. People are, I don't think, do you think we're going to go under 40,000 for any stretch of time moving forward?
For Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I actually,
I'm starting to think that there's a lot of interest, and I don't know if we're going to see $30,000 Bitcoin for any length of time.
Now we do have some news about spot ETFs. Now if that comes out, then hell no.
But you see, the thing is, the reason I even say that is because I got some stable coins on the side, a lot of stable coins, and I'm trying to buy some Bitcoin.
How about we do this?
And I was eyeballing this $36,000 target, and that was my was where I was trying to buy, and I'm starting to doubt myself.
I have an idea.
What's up?
So you have more equity in your house because you bought it earlier. Why don't we sell your house, use that money to buy Bitcoin, and you come live with me?
It's a terrible idea.
Okay, you're right. It was a horrible idea.
Do not sell your house for Bitcoin, okay? We're just gonna. I don't need to put a disclaimer on this one, okay? Like This is just literally sound advice, okay? Just don't sell your house for Bitcoin. Thank you. We'll leave it at that. No further disclaimer needed. Right. Taking a look at the stock market, Nasdaq up 1.65%. It was up at pretty much 2% earlier. So We are seeing some gains in traditional market, particularly the tech sector, and so I'm not surprised. As we say, when you see, as we say here, when you see Nasdaq moving big direction, moving a lot in one direction, usually brings crypto with it. And as you can see, taking a look at Bitcoin, hey, what do you know? The same day that Nasdaq goes up 2%. So does Bitcoin goes up 2%. So there you go.
Pretty correlated.
All right, cool. That's all I got, brother.
That's it.
What do we got, David?
Huh.
Did y'all like the Bitcoin Ballin' song? Were y'all vibing with that?
Yeah.
Let us know. Put a 1 in the chat if you're vibing with our intro song. Put a 2 in the chat if you weren't vibing with it.
Yeah.
And put a 3 in the chat if you were vibing with David's dance moves.
Yes. I expect a lot of 3s, you guys. You know how hard I worked on that last night? Not hard at all. All right, we're moving on to our very first segment, the hot take.
It's hot.
All right. So, discussed it earlier. There's been a rise in the price of Bitcoin. And why is there a rise in Bitcoin? There ain't no new institutions coming in. Not any headline. Not any big headlines. Hey, Walmart ain't buying Bitcoin, Cash App's transacting, but nobody's really, no big name is out here just scooping up Bitcoin. But all the metrics tell us something different. And also to double down even more, the retail ain't buying Bitcoin. People aren't coming by, but like, yo, I just scooped up some Bitcoin. Like nobody's doing that. But the metrics say otherwise. The metrics say that Bitcoin is leaving exchanges. The reserves on hands are leaving. And as we mentioned, there's 19 million Bitcoin. I think there's like, was it 4 million or 7 million, something like that, that's lost.
Close to 4 million.
You got Satoshi's original amount of Bitcoin.
Wow.
Anyways, so what we got? Like maybe 15 million Bitcoin, right? Active. And so Grayscale owns 600,000, right?
600,000.
MicroStrategy has like 400.
No, 120.
Do they? No, I think they bought more. They bought more. They're over. I don't know where they're at. But anyways, they got a lot. We're going to pull up the facts here in a minute. We're going to pull up the numbers here in a second. But, and, Tesla has 1.5 billion.
So MicroStrategy currently holds
also, when we get to 30 people in the chat, we're going to open up the club. We haven't opened up the club. We didn't open it up yesterday. You think we'll get to 30 people today?
I think so. I'm feeling it today. Yeah. Today I'm feeling it. We'll
feeling
see
it?
what happens. Yep. 125,000 Bitcoin.
125,000 Bitcoin. Yeah. So you have a lot of Bitcoin are sitting in people's storage that ain't gonna go nowhere, right? Just straight. We all agree Michael Saylor ain't gonna sell his Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, and there's also
Grayscale ain't gonna sell their Bitcoin. So
and then with with the spot ETF coming, whoever launches a spot ETF is gonna have to hold Bitcoin. So
right. So anyways, where at some point you're gonna run out of Bitcoin, right?
You would think so.
Now here's the thing. You'll always have Bitcoin to sell in the order books. So, and this is where you get the supply shock. So, if somebody wants to buy Bitcoin and they're like, "Hey, we don't really have big chunks of Bitcoin." You have to buy everything that's in the order books, right?
Are you asking me, or is that?
Yeah, I'm just kind of a statement, but I'm also asking you. I mean, I don't know if you have a different thought on this, but essentially, let's say I come across an inheritance and I have $50 million, and I reach out to Coinbase and I'm like, "Hey, can I get a $50 million worth of Bitcoin?" And they're like, "Hey, we don't have it on hand." Like, what do you mean you don't have it on hand? I'm like, well, we don't. You got to buy it off the order books. At that point, you're going to start pulling from there driving the price up.
And that's when the supply.
And then the same thing will happen to the next. Yeah, and so at some point, when you don't have, when a big institution comes in, when somebody comes in with billions of dollars, when the next Tesla company comes out and they're like, you know what, we want to buy $40 billion worth of, or say Apple as an example. Right. They're like, hey, we want to integrate this into our wallet. We need to have Bitcoin on hand to provide liquidity for whatever business model they have. We want $40 billion. Or maybe they just want to keep it as a reserve treasury asset. And so in doing so, they go to the exchanges, and if they don't physically have it, but they're going to buy it anyways, then at some point your supply, you're pulling so much off of there, you're clearing the order books, you're going to moonshot the price.
Yeah.
And
I mean, all you need is another 150 Michael Saylors and the entire.
Do you think now, this is inevitable, in my opinion? Do you agree it's inevitable?
I mean, I don't think in the next 15, 20 years, no.
Well, that's where I'm at. Like, do you think the hot take, will the Bitcoin supply disappear, keyword soon?
Soon as in a year?
What do you think? Give me your thoughts.
Okay, well, what's your time horizon on soon? You got to give me that.
Do you think there's going to be a supply shock? Now, remember, there will always be Bitcoin to sell, no matter what. You can always sell Satoshis. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's if you want to buy Bitcoin, there's going to be somebody that will sell it. There's enough Bitcoin in the world that,
especially miners.
Yeah, you can always buy it. It's just going to shoot the price up. So do you think in the next 3 years?
No.
No?
In the next 3 years, no. Not at all. I think, but I do think eventually it could happen. I mean, you only have 19 million of these and 125,000 of them. Almost a million of them are held between Tesla, MicroStrategy, and Grayscale. That's just 3 institutions.
Hey, hold on a second. We got 22 people in this chat, and we have 9 likes.
Are you kidding me?
Not even half the people watching this show has not liked the channel, man.
Just cut the stream.
Shut up. We're packing this thing up. Let's go. Yeah. So do us a favor, everybody. Drop a like in the chat. We're at 10 likes now. Drop a like, and we will continue the show. In the meantime, I'm going to work on my portfolio of drinks here. How you doing? So
likes.
Okay, so here's my.
Come on, guys. What the hell wrong with you?
Here's my thought here. So I think a nation state is going to pick up Bitcoin as a reserve treasury asset, and then at that point, and I think that's going to happen within the next 2 years, and I think that's going to create a massive supply shock. At the same time, you're going to have the Bitcoin ETF. Bitcoin ETF is going to remove a ton. Now, Grayscale is going to convert their trust into a spot Bitcoin ETF.
Right.
And then,
so you think they'll still buy any more Bitcoin?
Yeah, they have to. They literally by law have to. So if 500 million people, $500 million going to, they have to go buy it. So
even if they already have those Bitcoin on hand?
Well, no. They're gonna convert it over.
Right.
So if you were already holding Bitcoin before, you now custody an ETF. Now right. I'm sure they'll give you an option where you're like, hey, no fee, whatever. If you don't want to convert your Bitcoin trust into an ETF, we give you an option to exit this via no fee. I would assume that that would be normal business practice. But so essentially.
Then if the argument is true, okay, if the supply will disappear, then is it even possible to have ETFs and spend using Lightning Network and use it as a global reserve
100%. The price just goes up accordingly. If there's 100,000 Bitcoin available, on the order books, then that's what there is.
So what do you think the price would be? Like speculating, of course. This is just opinion.
It's all a moving number. It's all about what the average of the order books are.
If there's only 1 million Bitcoin available, you're talking about
that's probably what it is. I mean, if you think about the hodlers, people that have Bitcoin in cold storage wallets, I would assume that Bitcoin that is actively ready to sell and buy is probably 3 million. I would think somewhere in there will be my guess.
once we get to that closer to that 1 million and under 1 million, I think the price of Bitcoin is going to be in the seven, maybe 8 figures.
I'm telling you, man. Like, what if France just bought $1 trillion worth of Bitcoin? Bitcoin's not even sitting at $1 trillion worth of market cap.
Yeah,
So I'm just saying that. What if they sold off their gold
and when you're
they bought Bitcoin?
and when you're talking about countries that buy them, they're not buying them to trade them; they're buying them to hold them. So
Everybody is always looking for getting rich off of altcoins. Do not discount the power of Bitcoin. You do not discount. You want to talk about some excess? Go look at the price of Bitcoin in 2012 and look at the price of it now.
Yeah.
And that was 10 years. Look at the price of Bitcoin 5 years ago and look at it now. So if you're looking for some massive gains, do not think they're not going to come from Bitcoin. Don't be like, well, price has been sitting around 40,000 forever, man. I want, I'm looking for these gains.
We're gonna look back 3 years from now. 40,000 is gonna look like $200.
Yeah,
Mark my words. So exciting things happening in Bitcoin. What do you guys think? Do you think that the supply will disappear? Put a 1 in the chat for yes. Put a 2 for no. How many likes?
Soon.
How many likes are we at?
We're at 15 likes.
Okay, better.
So yeah.
All right, we're moving on. Talking points. Go ahead, Rock. Broke Yoshi said France is going to sell all their baguettes and buy up all the Bitcoin. They wouldn't be very smart in doing that.
They make amazing croissants, bro.
So if you didn't see our thumbnail today, we had kangaroo boxing in Australia. So here is why. We pull up my laptop. Australia gets the go-ahead to list the country's first Bitcoin ETF next week. Australia is set to receive its first Bitcoin ETF as early as next week, the Australian Financial Review reported. Trading could begin on CBOE Australia as early as April 27th. So that's 8 days from today. Following a 7-day notice period to investors, clearing participants, brokers, and market makers beginning Wednesday. So they're going to be, it's going to be called the Cosmos Asset Management Fund. And Cosmos product will invest in the shares of the world's first Bitcoin ETF, which is the Purpose Bitcoin ETF. This is the one that was listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange more than a year ago. It is one of the only true spot ETFs, started in Canada and now essentially Australia. They're going to be using the same one. Should demand for Cosmos ETF follow a similar trajectory to that of Canada, between 550 and 750 million could flow into the fund within a week as investors scramble to grab a hold of one of the world's most volatile asset classes while avoiding direct market exposure. According to the report, ASX Clear, which is the clearinghouse for all Australian shares, warrants, and securities, they have 4 market participants ready to front the 42% margin requirement for settlement risks, including 1 retail and 3 institutional participants. This is huge. Australia is the 53rd largest country in the world in terms of population. They got a lot of kangaroos. They're also very smart. So the dominoes keep falling. The countries around us, and it's not just small countries. It's not just like this is a is this a G7 country? Is this considered a G7 country? Like U.S., France, Great Britain. Okay, Rocco's gonna look it up for us. But who's next? Is it gonna be France? Is it gonna be the UK? Is it gonna be another one of these U.S. ally countries? These NATO countries? So what the hell is the U.S. doing? Like, you're just going to wait till everyone passes you by and then say, oh, okay, yeah, I guess we'll do it. So this is extremely bullish. Robin, what are your thoughts?
Super bullish. Almost like the Super Bowl and almost like a camera switch that goes to me. Rocco? Yeah.
He knows what the viewers want. The viewers want to see my face. Rocco, you're a man of the people.
Australia is not part of the G7.
They're not?
Yeah, I think those are like more or less European countries in the U.S. and Canada, right?
Well, yeah.
Anyways, I did pull up. Let's see here. The total market cap for the stock market in Australia. 1.88 billion, 1.6 billion here. So a couple of different numbers. But anyways, somewhere between 1.5 and 1 and 2 no, I didn't
billion or
no,
trillion?
trillion. Sorry,
Trillion.
Yes,
I was like,
trillion.
that's tiny.
So somewhere between $1.5 trillion to $2 trillion for the Australian market cap. And looking at the U.S. in comparison, we're at 26 trillion. As high as 27 trillion. This is 2015. I wonder where we're at now. It's got to be more now, especially with all the inflation. Oh, here we go. 49 trillion right here on this one.
That's ridiculous.
So 50 times what it is in Australia. So here is another thought experiment. Let's say in 8 days when the Australian market, because here's the thing. We have spot Bitcoin ETFs in Canada and Brazil already.
Yes.
And so obviously those didn't move the needle as far as like FOMOing the price of Bitcoin.
Yes.
And so I'm curious. Will in 8 days, when this goes public, if there's a surge on the Bitcoin ETF in Australia, will the price bump up? Because if it does, pay attention, because it is 1/30 or 1/40 of the economy here in the U.S. So this is like a litmus test to see what will happen. Because whatever happens there, multiply it by 30 or 40, and that's probably what's going to happen here.
Yeah. I just don't think there's enough people. I don't think there's enough money. I mean, they're talking about, in the article, they talked about something similar to Canada, which was between $550 and $750 million. That's not really a lot of money. So we'll see. But then again, you have a spot ETF. It's going to make news, especially in Australia. People are going to be like, whoa, what's this Bitcoin thing? And then you'll start getting some of these retail people who will start learning.
What is this Bitcoin? Everybody knows what Bitcoin is.
Everyone knows what Bitcoin is.
Yes. You might not
That's a
be. You
dumb
might
statement.
not be well versed in Bitcoin. You might not understand the underlying technology. You might not understand the benefits of Bitcoin in comparison to traditional fiat. But I think at this point, in developed countries, people are aware of Bitcoin. Put it that way. You disagree?
Aware enough to buy? No.
I didn't say, like I said, they might not be well versed. They might not understand the pros versus the cons in comparison to traditional fiat. But at this point, have you said Bitcoin to somebody and they're like, "What is that?"
I have actually.
To who?
A couple people.
Oh, there we go. A couple people.
Well, I mean, I don't go out and
It's like
interview
people say I'm
random
handsome
people.
all the time. I'm like, who? Like, gas station attendants, lady at Subway.
Yeah, your Subway story? That was you, not me. That was weird. So,
the lady at Subway had a thing for me, man. I went to Subway. I got a sub, and the lady literally was just like, I made that thing with love.
she said that?
Yeah, she was like, other people might. She called me handsome twice, and then she said I made it with love. So,
Did you give her any love? Like
I gave her a $2 tip.
That was it.
There you go. $10 sandwich, 20%.
Your
There you
cheap
go.
ass. See, Russell said
I'm a married man, brother.
Russell
You know what
said
I mean?
Russell said people back here have no clue about it. So there you go. And that's India's one of the most populous countries in the world. So there you go. David's right again. All right, let's move on. We talked about when the hell is the U.S.
Yeah. So one last thing.
Go ahead.
One last thing. Canada, Brazil, now Australia. At some point, U.S. is going to be like,
What's going on here, man?
guys? Are we missing
All right,
out on
Mike.
something? Are we missing out on something?
They already know. I think they're giving the banks enough time to position themselves,
Right.
All the money, they can't stop the money flow into their pockets.
Can't stop, won't stop.
So speaking of Bitcoin ETFs and the U.S., we have a video to show you. This is the CEO of Grayscale talking about the future of Bitcoin spot ETF in the U.S. So Rocco, pull up my computer, please.
Bring in Michael Sonnenschein. He's the CEO of Grayscale Investments. Matt Hogan is the CIO of Bitwise Asset Management. Michael, we've got an application in front of the SEC to convert Grayscale Bitcoin Trust to an ETF. The SEC has until early July to respond to that. They've denied all the previous pure play Bitcoin ETFs, and you've hinted to me and to others that if they don't approve your application, you might sue them. Can you just explain why and what the grounds is for that?
Well, the SEC has a tough decision in front of them. Again, there are now over 800,000 accounts in the U.S. across all 50 states that own GBTC. And what we've seen now is a changing and an evolution of how the SEC is thinking about approving these products. When they first approved the Bitcoin futures products, that was the first time we had a signal from them that they began to get comfortable with Bitcoin as an asset class and giving investors access to it. But they had long said that the 40 Act had certain protections that the 33 Act and other structures might not have. And as recently as last week, we saw their thinking evolve even further, right? The 33 Act now, we have a Bitcoin futures ETF registered under the 33 Act. And so when the SEC has cited concerns, it's been about the underlying Bitcoin market, the potential for fraud and manipulation. And so it really is, in our opinion, a matter of when and not a matter of if. And if the SEC can't look at two like issues, the futures ETFs and the spot ETFs through the same lens, then it is in fact potentially grounds for an APA violation.
I can't help but think that your shareholders are putting some pressure on you. That GBTC trades at a substantial discount right now to the market. Is that entering into this? It's substantial fees. It's a 2% fee here. I mean, your shareholders must be putting some pressure on you.
Well, it's actually a really great point. Shareholders actually have an opportunity to be a part of this conversation. Because this filing is in front of the SEC, they're actually able to submit a comment letter directly to the SEC. We've set up a website so folks can do it, grayscale.com/comment. There's been over 3,000 investors who've already written into the SEC advocating for this position because they've been very patient and they feel that they deserve an ETF.
Matt, you and I lived through this in 2018. The SEC put out a long comment letter specifically on what they did not like about Bitcoin ETFs. And they said, here is what you need to do to cure the defects. In your opinion, what kind of progress has been made to cure those defects? And respond to Michael's point here. Is there a legal ground for trying to push the SEC into approving a Bitcoin ETF?
Yeah, look, I think a huge amount of progress has been made in answering the SEC's questions. Bitwise has an application that's due up in early July that has over 200 pages of novel academic research answering their specific questions. I think the most important thing for people to understand is that you can run a Bitcoin ETF in a safe and responsible manner. They're doing it in Canada, they're doing it in Germany, they're doing it in Switzerland, and having a Bitcoin ETF would only lower costs and improve investor protections. Now, I think we're going to get there. I think if you look at what the SEC's done recently, it's crawled, it's walked, and now they're ready to run. They approved the first futures-based ETF, then they approved a 40 Act ETF, and now we're ready for what everyone actually wants, which is an ETF that holds spot Bitcoin in a safe, secure, and lower cost manner than most investors access it today.
But the heart of the objective.
Give the people what they want. The people want a spot ETF. Give it to them. Robin, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming. As they mentioned, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. We're all in agreement here, and I do think that when it goes across the SEC's desk, and you said July yesterday, so
Grayscale, yes.
Come July, there we go. That's when it's coming, and it only makes sense. The largest holder of Bitcoin, they're going to convert their trust.
Which here's the thing, guys. Pay attention to Bitcoin. Okay, pay attention to Bitcoin because as we get closer to July and it gets talked about more and more in the news and you hear more and more about it and the rumor mill starts churning, you're going to see a rise in the price of Bitcoin, especially if the narrative is overwhelmingly, hey, the SEC is going to approve it. You'll see a giant rise in Bitcoin, and then when the spot ETF comes out, you'll probably see a little bit of a pullback. So just keep your eye on that, and we'll keep our eye on that for you guys as well. But Robin, when he mentioned GBTC is trading at a discount, like what does that exactly mean? Do you mind explaining it to everyone?
So they're not going to sell. They're not going to sell their Bitcoin. So put it that way. So like Grayscale's not going to liquidate their Bitcoin. So if people start selling their Bitcoin or start selling their trust or if they start selling the the traded trust stock, basically, then what ends up happening is they have more Bitcoin on hand, but not enough money invested into it. And so at that point, to entice investors to come in, they discount the price. The same happens in reverse when there's FOMO. When people want to buy a bunch of Bitcoin and they don't have it physically on hand yet, they're just going to charge you more money for it on top of their fees. So you have like a 2 or 3% fee for the trust. So not the optimal way of buying and storing Bitcoin. There's fees involved. You can't remove it. You're not physically custodying it, and nobody's really physically custodying it outside of Grayscale. And even then, you have a piece of the pie, basically, of what pie they have. So a little different than ETF, but that's how that works. And so right now it's at a discount. I mean, you can't. The thing is, you can't buy and remove it. So if you buy from them, you either hodl it and then sell it when the price of Bitcoin goes up and hope that you can sell when the premium is more than, because right now it's at a discount. So maybe you can buy it now, sell later. But I mean, for me, I'm not really interested in it. But it does bring up an interesting narrative that if these institutions really wanted to get Bitcoin, if they really wanted Bitcoin, that's like the big narrative. Like, oh, there's no regulation. If somebody really wanted Bitcoin, they just go buy Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust.
Yeah.
And so I do think when the spot Bitcoin ETF passes, there's going to be a lot of institutions getting into it because there's a little bit more regulation clarity. But I think once the FOMO dies down, it's not going to be anything like, it's not like all of a sudden every company is going to have Bitcoin, put it that way. I think there's going to be a few new players that are buying big chunks of it. I think a few smaller companies might start dabbling in it, but I don't see it as, this floodgates opening up and every person in Wall Street is going to be scooping up Bitcoin, because I think that's kind of the narrative a lot of people are trying to push. So
either way, it's coming. You heard it from the man himself, the man who runs the company that has the most amount of Bitcoin on the balance sheet. Spot ETF is coming. Hold on to your horses. Hold on to whatever you hold on to when you
hold on to your kangaroos.
Yes, that's the theme. By the way, Robin, will you put the camera, Robin? It's a really nice shirt, my friend. Where'd you get it from?
Bitcoin astronaut.
No, where did you get it from?
A Bitcoin astronaut.
Wow. Okay. All right, let's move on. Can't get shit from this guy. Let's move on to our very next article. Ethereum trading volume plunges $1.5 trillion in quarterly low. Might sound bad, but hear me out. It's actually a good thing in the grand scheme. According to Beaten Crypto Research, investor interest in the second largest digital asset by market cap tumbled in the first quarter of 2022. Trading volume recorded for Ethereum during the first quarter of this year was around 1.34 trillion, which is a 54% drop compared to the same time frame last year when it was at 2.94 trillion. In January 2021, the trading volume of Ethereum was 1.18 trillion with a single day high of around 60 billion. In January 2022, the trading volume was 491 billion with a single day high of 28 billion. So why do I think it's bullish? We've seen a freaking 55% drop and ETH is still over $3,000. 55% drop in ETH is over $3,000. That's literally all I got to say. Robin?
Well, the gas is going to be cheaper now at this point.
Yep.
Obviously, the Ethereum gas fees literally come from congestion on the network and people trying to outbid each other to push their transactions through. And so the volume's down. Good news. Gas fees are down too.
But the price remains up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that are buying and removing Ethereum and keeping it in cold storage wallets in the same way that people do for Bitcoin. No?
No. It's actually the opposite. If you look at the ETH metrics, more people are putting it on exchanges than taking it off. But that's because
No, there is tons of people buying and hodling Ethereum. Ethereum is the number 2 hodled coin out there. Kathy Wood literally is institution buying up giant acquisitions of Ethereum. Ethereum is widely used through transactions. However, don't get it twisted. People are hodling Ethereum. There's a crazy amount of Ethereum being staked currently on their merge chain. I forget the name of it, but on
the Ethereum one, the kiln.
Yeah, the ETH merge, the 2.0. Yeah. Right now I forget what it's called. It starts with a B, but anyways, that chain, whatever it's called, that's going to merge and become the new chain, basically. That one is got a ton of Ethereum locked up.
Yeah. So do you agree with me that this is bullish?
No.
For Ethereum?
I think volume dropping is not bullish. Community is not transacting with Ethereum. People are using other networks. I think it's the opposite of bullish. I think it's extremely bearish. I think the fact that people are using Solana and they're not using Ethereum for both NFTs and their sneaker platforms, and here's the thing: like if you don't do something about your transaction fees, people are going to go elsewhere. At some point, people are going to be like, "Yo, why the hell am I spending?" I mean, even right now, an Ethereum transaction is probably what, $30?
Yeah,
ridiculous, bro. And there's no end in sight to that. There's no end in sight. Like, when the hell is the gas fees gonna ease up? I have a zero answer for you. Zero. Beacon chain. Yeah, there it is. So the beacon chain. I told you it started with B. I was like beacon. There it is. So that launched back in 2020, December of 2020. Has a crazy amount of total value locked. Crazy. I mean, people were expecting the merge, so maybe, whatever. But when they upgrade, when they merge, it doesn't affect the gas fee, right?
What do you mean?
Literally, the gas fee will not change. Be zero difference in the gas fee.
That doesn't make sense.
Literally, the only change that happens is that the blocks get mined, they stop getting mined, and they go to proof of stake. Doesn't change, and the time for settling a block goes from 13 seconds to 12 seconds. But it does not affect the gas fee in the slightest. The token becomes slightly deflationary. It becomes more deflationary, but doesn't do anything for congestion and gas fee. So,
well, the congestion, yeah, but gas fee. You figure going from proof of work to proof of stake
doesn't do it. Doesn't change it.
Wow, great move, Ethereum.
Yeah, I found that. I thought it was going to change the. I thought it.
That's gas like the common sense answer, right? Is you go from a very
So, yeah, Vitalik went and leveraged and basically said, like, hey, man, proof of the layer 2s, the roll-ups.
Polygon, Loopring.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you want cheap transactions? That's where you need to go. So, there you go.
So then what the hell is the whole point of this? Nothing?
They're going green. Like, that's it. No,
so
it's
you're
another
essentially
step.
Giving up network security to go green and not change a goddamn thing about the freaking gas fees. It's great.
I mean, you could make an argument that it's just as secure with proof of stake versus not.
Proof of work is more secure. It's a fact. I'm not saying the difference.
Necessarily.
I'm not saying the difference.
Here's the thing. You can take the Bitcoin network. The Bitcoin network at this point is essentially controlled by about 15 companies. Now, if you were to look at, a network that's run by proof of stake, take Cardano for example. They're pretty well known proof of stake. They have staking pool limits, so they have an X amount of Cardano that you can have as your pool to validate blocks. And so, if you're a whale, you can't control the network because the validation comes from a block the size of maybe $20,000. Okay. And so you have hundreds of blocks of smaller proportions. So you would have to buy up, you'd have to be a billionaire and you'd have to buy all of these staking pools. But the problem is people already have their money staked. So you can't just like force them out. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, but proof of work is more secure than proof of stake. I'm not saying
that's an argument. That's an opinion. No, that's an opinion. And here's the thing: as a network grows, it's an opinion. It's as a network grows, it becomes, as there's more variables in the network, it becomes more and more secure. If you were to look at Bitcoin when it was in its infancy, when it was in 2011, it could easily be taken over. It wouldn't take very little amount of capital. It would just take a small amount of computers compared to where we are now, and you could literally take over the network. And that is 2 years in. There's so many blockchains out here that are 2 years old that their network isn't huge. And so to start a proof of work network at this moment would be extremely dangerous, because it would take a small amount of computing power to take over the network.
Unless you're leveraging like Bitcoin's network, like some projects.
But then you're not a layer one. If you're making a blockchain and you have no association with Bitcoin, now then at that point you're just literally
there's layer that you can leverage without being like we did a Komodo is one when I was doing my research on them. They essentially they're a layer one, but they leverage Bitcoin's network. They're not building on top of it. They're just leveraging it.
That's a layer two.
That's not a layer two.
It's a layer two. If you have to secure your network by using somebody else's network, you're not a layer one.
They're not using it to secure it 100%.
That's what Polygon
They're
does.
essentially using it as like another layer of security.
Literally the definition of layer two is checking in with a chain. I'm just telling you, like, to be a layer two, you're checking in and securing your network on another chain.
Anyways, let's move on because I got some fact checking to do here later. But I'm not going to leave our viewers hanging. Rocco, you fact checked all that. You hear me? Yeah.
It's literally an opinion. It depends on where you are it depends on where you're at in your growth model. If you're in your infancy, you're more vulnerable for attacks. If your network has grown,
there you go. Leave it right there. Fault tolerance 50% versus 33.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Why? Here's a thought experiment. I'm gonna do something here for you. Okay. What is the difference between proof of work and proof of stake?
The way the transactions are validated.
Okay, but essentially, it's not transaction. Okay, so it's who gets to mine. It's who gets to validate. So you have a race, and you can essentially do this with anything. You could do it with proof of network bandwidth. You could do it with proof of work through a graphics card, through hash power. You could do it through proof of stake, where you randomly pick somebody that you could do it with proof of transactions. Like, you could do it essentially with anything. You just take a list of people, and then you try to decentralize it enough to a point to where you try to spread out enough players to where you can just randomly pick one, and it's obviously in somebody's best interest if they invest a lot of money to not corrupt the network. If I spend billions of dollars on mining cards, it's not in my best interest to corrupt the network. If I have billions of dollars staked, it's not in my best interest. But anyways, essentially, it's the exact same thing. So for security purposes, there is actually no difference between proof of stake and proof of work. It's essentially the same thing. It's just the list comes from two different lists. So proof of stake, you have mining pools, say 100,000 of them. Proof of work, you have graphics cards, 100,000 of them. And then the people that are at the top of the list are more likely to get picked. So essentially for security, there's really no difference. The only difference comes is for how big your list is. And if your list of graphics cards is 90% of it is weighted at the top 10, then you have less amount of players that secure the network. If you have a list where 90% of the people that are proof of stake are spread across 10,000 people, you have less chance of cooperation to corrupt the network. So regardless, it's not that one is right and one is wrong, or one is better or one is stronger. It's literally the amount of players in the network. But now if you look at Bitcoin, what you can make the argument for is that Bitcoin, that the top 90 have over trillions of dollars, if you add them all up, invested in mining. So it is not in their interest. So if anything, you have 15 players that are publicly traded companies that are huge entities that have tons of capital and investors and boards, basically all behind making sure the network, the Bitcoin network, stays flawless. So in that model, yeah, it's not decentralized as far as like the same as proof of stake, but it's two different games. It's like, it just depends. Like you wanna drive a race car, you wanna drive a fucking off-road vehicle. Like, that's all it is.
So do you agree that Bitcoin network gets more secure as the network grows?
Every network in blockchain in general, doesn't matter if it's proof of stake or it's proof of work. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And when you're small, it would have been easy to take over the Bitcoin network back in 2011. It would have been very easy.
So why didn't anyone do it?
Because nobody understood what it was at the point in time. And at that time,
now people understood it. They could have done it.
No, but at the time, do you think somebody was like, you know what? I'm going to put $30 million or I'm going to put in $100 million to control this network of something that people are really skeptical that are buying drugs with. People didn't want to risk putting up that money for that. Now, in hindsight, shit, there'd probably be a line of companies that would go to take advantage of the Bitcoin network if they could go back in time. But now at this point, the network's grown. And as the network grows, as any network grows, that's why it's difficult. It's a bad idea to invest in these very small projects that just come out because there's not enough network in them to support it.
Bitcoin is the most secure network out there.
I think it is. I didn't say it wasn't. But I'm just saying, Bitcoin's the most. Here's the thing.
Proof of work.
Bitcoin is the most secure network
and the most decentralized.
But with that said, proof of work doesn't make it that. The size of the network does. If all of a sudden the miners decided to vote and change it to proof of stake, it would be just as secure, if not more. Because of the network, all of the money invested. Now, all of a sudden, you would have even more. You know, the network would be just as secure, bro.
I disagree. All right, we're moving on. Beer giant Anheuser-Busch, aka Bud Light, aka Budweiser, aka Bud Light Zero, if that even exists. They are getting into the metaverse. St. Louis, Missouri headquartered brewing company Anheuser-Busch has filed several metaverse-related applications with the USPTO. The maker of Bud Light is intending to create its own metaverse called Budverse. Snoop Dogg will be happy about that. Do you think Snoop Dogg's mad that he didn't do this first? Budverse?
Budverse?
Yeah, like he didn't patent it.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Budweiser. What is Bud? I know.
Bud marijuana.
Yeah.
Budweiser plans to offer NFTs with images of beer cans under the Bud Light brand. Who drinks Bud Light, by the way? That shit is disgusting. It's like
I love Bud
drinking
Light.
Rocky
growing up in Virginia.
Rocky Mountain piss water. I'll take one of those in a tall glass.
When I grew up in Virginia, okay, I had a lot of grass to cut. And ain't nothing like getting halfway through cutting the grass. You empty out the bag of grass clippings, and you're all hot and sweaty and itchy from the grass and pollen. And you sit on your porch, and you drink that ice cold Bud Light. Man. Ain't nothing like it, bro. Yeah. Ain't nothing like you could take the most expensive bottle of wine. You could take whatever. Hard day of work, out in the sunlight. Pollen, Bud Light.
Yeah. Pollen. It also intends to provide online gaming services and art exhibition services in a virtual environment and metaverse platforms. In August, Budweiser also acquired their beer.eth domain for $95,000 in ETH. And then also, they're not the only ones. Last month, Dutch brewing behemoth Heineken introduced alcohol-free and fun-free Virtual beer brewed with purified pixels in Decentraland, a 3D world powered by Ethereum. So, yeah. You got anything to add to this? I really don't.
I am excited about the fact that I can visit the beer garden in Decentraland, bro. I mean, tell me how cool that would be.
So cool, man.
So cool. Is it less cool than say a clothing company being in the metaverse that you get super excited about? Yeah. No, I'm serious, man. I'd rather have Budweiser t-shirt on than an Adidas t-shirt on in the metaverse because your boy will be looking like a straight G. That's all I got.
Everything's this is Robin's world. We're just living in it.
That's right.
All right, we're moving on. Republican policymakers want the SEC chair to repropose crypto rules. Earlier in March, 8 members of the Congressional Blockchain Caucus had also questioned the SEC's clampdown on the crypto industry. I love that we're seeing more and more pro-crypto voices in the U.S. government. It is amazing to see. This time, the leaders in the House Financial Services Committee questioned the SEC's proposed changes to the definition of exchange and that of dealer in 2 separate proposals from earlier this year. They stated that the changes could stunt the growth of the crypto sector and decentralized finance. The 2 senators, Patrick McHenry, or representatives, sorry, not senators, Patrick McHenry and Bill Bazinga, said, "We are particularly concerned that proposed rules can be interpreted to expand the SEC's jurisdiction beyond its existing statutory authority to regulate market participants in the digital asset ecosystem, including DeFi." In addition, they commented that the agency's analysis fails to fully define the scope of the impacted market participants and stalls sufficient details on the cost of compliance, further highlighting that, quote, "the rulemakings fail to define the SEC's statutory authority." So, Robin, I'm going to send it over to you first. What are your thoughts?
No. You know, Republicans seem like the ones that are a little bit more crypto friendly. And
it looks like.
But the thing is that the space is very bipartisan, though. But definitely leans a little bit more Republican. Is Elizabeth Warren Republican or Democrat?
No, she's Democrat.
She's Democrat?
Yeah.
Not
was Janet
surprised.
Yellen. So is Janet Yellen.
Oh, yeah?
What's up, Matt?
Janet Yellen came around, though. But
I think they're all going to have to come around, honestly.
I don't know.
They're going to have no choice.
It is pretty, a lot of experts discuss the U.S.'s role in the whole crypto universe. And it seems as though the same thing keeps popping up, the word bipartisan. And so I think, even though the Republicans seem to be a little bit more pro-Bitcoin, Biden's executive order, man, I'm telling you, man's a Democrat, and he's over here like, yo, this crypto thing, it's let's not ignore it. No, but you know what? The SEC, obviously, they're the ones basically regulating it, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, they're the ones that have the most influence when it comes to this sector. And with that said, they just do whatever the hell they want. They're just shooting at the hip. They're just like, hey, Gary Gunn Gensler, that you like saying, just like, and they're like, hey, okay, you're cool. You're not cool. You can come in. No, you stay out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like there's no clear regulation. And at least we got some lawmakers that are like, hey, man, can you put this in some kind of lane?
Do something.
Can you clarify your shady ass wording you got over here? So, yeah, I don't know. That's what I got.
I'm digging it. Like I said, more and more pro-crypto voices in the U.S. government. I love it. We're going to see more. I have a feeling that in the next presidential election, you're going to see a lot of headlines of people donating in crypto and Bitcoin to their candidates. Sam Bankman-Fried donated to Joe Biden when he was running for president in 2020. And I think we're just going to see more of that because you accept money in Bitcoin for your campaign. You have no choice because people are going to ask you about it. They're going to say, hey, you took money in Bitcoin. Yes. Well, what are your thoughts on Bitcoin? Bitcoin sucks. It's dangerous. It says, so then why did you take the money? So essentially, there's nothing they can do. So, all right. Let's move on. So Core Scientific.
Hey, real quick. So I pulled up a little video here I watched. This is from our buddies over here at Altcoin Daily. So this is where I was open. My eyes were open. So we love.
What happened to not showing other people's YouTube channels on our channel?
No, we just don't want to. We don't make a habit of it. But we like it. We love Altcoin.
Oh,
Daily.
Robert wants to do it. It's okay. All right, go ahead.
All right, let's just jump right to it.
So-
My first question, the Ethereum merge to proof of stake is months away. What is going to happen as and when Ethereum merges?
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of misconceptions around what the merge is. A lot of people have these bad narratives in their minds about what's actually going to happen. Some people believe it's going to reduce gas fees. Some people believe that it's going to unlock all the staked ETH all at once. Those things aren't going to happen. The simplest way to explain the merge is basically we're literally going from proof of work to proof of stake. That is the change at the end of the day. Like nothing really will be felt by the end users at the time of the merge. The blocks will still be happening. I mean, the blocks come in slightly faster. Right now, they're 13-second blocks. Post-merge, they'll be 12 seconds, but I doubt the users are gonna feel that at all, really. So from an end user perspective, nothing really happens for them. And but if you dig deeper and you dive deeper, a lot happens. Right in the background. The merge is the culmination of years and years worth of research and development from the Ethereum ecosystem. You know, proof of stake has been coming since basically day one. You know, Vitalik spoke about it when he first published the white paper, and it's gone through a lot of iterations. It's gone through a lot of different designs, and we finally landed on one when we launched the Beacon chain on December 1st of 2020, and that has been the proof of stake network that has lived alongside the proof of work network that we all know and love today. So you know, once the merge happens, we basically will just rip out proof of work essentially and replace it with this proof of stake Beacon chain that has been running since December 1st, 2020, and that has about over 10 million ETH staked now, over 300,000 validators, which is really, really cool. It's been going up lately a lot, actually. I think a lot of people are getting a bit of FOMO around it. But yeah, from an end user perspective, you wouldn't notice any differences, but it does lay the groundwork, the critical groundwork for those upgrades to come later, such as sharding that people have heard about for a long
All right. So anyways, if you want to look at that, it's on the Altcoin Daily channel. But basically, I'm subscribed to this gentleman too. What's his name? Anyways, he's like one of the ETH homers, and got a lot of great insight. So I've been checking him out.
He's got a nice beard.
He does got a nice beard.
Yeah.
But you know, I was in the camp, and I'm glad I found that video. But I was in the camp that it was gonna ease the gas fees, and so kind of changes my whole perspective on what is to come. Because I was in the camp, hey, gas fees are going to get way cheaper. It's going to be super cheap to transact on Ethereum. And why do you need to use Polygon? And why do you need to use the layer 2s when this is going to be scalable and fast? So now I'm like, back to the drawing board. I'm buying more Matic, baby. Matic, here we go. I'm going all in, baby. And we are big fans of Polygon Matic here. You know, can you do some TA on Matic today?
Absolutely not.
When you look at
I have
when
plans.
you look at
I got plans. I'm not letting you mess up my plans.
We'll
We got a
stay-
new.
got somebody new in here.
We got a new-
We got 2022. Hola, welcome, Sin City Crypto.
Are you going to change your name to 2023 next year? Just curious.
Good question.
All right, we're moving on. Core Scientific, which is one of the largest Bitcoin mining companies, I think they are the largest in the world, launches public reporting of Bitcoin's mined. Core Scientific, the world's largest public Bitcoin mining company, now hosts a live mini production dashboard on its website to indicate how many Bitcoins it's mined in a bid to improve transparency. CEO Mike Levitt said, "We believe that the daily Bitcoin production metric is one of the most important performance measures in our industry. The NASDAQ-listed company produced 1,143 Bitcoin in March, with a daily average of about 37, up from 35 per day in February." And I have their site pulled up here, and if I reload it, daily Bitcoin mine, 36.9. You can see it if you go to corescientific.com on the top left, right here. Tells you how many Bitcoin they mine per day, price of their price of Bitcoin, ETH, and blah, blah, blah.
How much is 36 How much is 37 Bitcoin? What's the price of that?
So about 1.4, 1.5 million.
Yeah. Is that your head math? You use your head math on that?
36.9 times 40,000, 1.5 million.
Oh, dang. Did you use your head calculator for that one?
I did.
My man's good at math here.
I'm a good math man. Actually, math was my strongest. Anyway, so just something cool, something interesting. If you guys ever want to see how much Bitcoin is being mined, obviously, as the number goes up, the network is getting faster, is getting better. All right. I think there's one or two more articles I want to talk about, and then we're going to move on to our market analysis. Hold on. Someone's birthday. Russell? Russell, is it your birthday today? Please confirm in the chat as I move on. All right. The next article we're going to talk about.
He's like, stop the show.
Well, Russell's my boy, man. If it's his birthday, I want to give Russell a happy birthday. Russell, we'll see. So, quantitative analyst Plan B says 2 catalysts could trigger next Bitcoin rally. And the pseudonym. I feel like freaking Robin over here. The pseudonymous Bitcoin analyst Plan B says 2 catalysts could incite the next major wave of Bitcoin rallies. Come on, guys. What is this? It's not his birthday. Stop. It's August 15th.
There's so many birthday shout-outs in the chat, too.
Shit. All right. So he goes on to say, so these are direct quotes for the next couple things I'm about to read. But if we just extrapolate from what we know, a second or third El Salvador would really change the game. If El Salvador, a small country, would not be alone in Latin America, but if Mexico, Brazil, or Argentina would join them, that would make the case so much stronger and so much more difficult for the IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, or the international motherfuckers, to crush. That's something I really watch. And then it goes on to say, and then just normal demand from normal people that go through the institutions, people putting their pensions in Bitcoin, people buying Bitcoin themselves from an exchange. I see it all around me. So do you agree? Do you think these are the 2 biggest catalysts that will catapult Bitcoin to new all-time highs?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, so
I don't, you know what? Plan B, everybody like hypes him up as being like some chart guru. And if he ever comes on the show, we like you. But he has the stock to flow chart. Okay. And you know, I was watching another YouTuber's channel and they were talking about the 4-year cycles. He's like, oh, the 4-year cycles, 4-year cycles, 4-year cycles. And I started thinking about it. There's been 2 cycles. 2012, 2016, right?
2017.
2017.
Yeah.
That's it. The first cycle wasn't even a cycle. The trading volume for the first cycle was like $100 million. That's not a cycle. That's just like its inception. That's like saying, that's like looking at the stock market today, like the Dow Jones, if we look back at what happened in 1933, like, what are you talking about? Like, it's a whole different planet now. The stock market in 1933 is way different than the stock market in 2022. No correlation. I'm sorry. And there's zero correlation with Bitcoin sitting at $1 trillion, basically, compared to Bitcoin sitting at, what was the market cap of? Can you look up market cap of Bitcoin in 2012? Let me know. What was the market cap of Bitcoin in 2012? And then let me know if the trading should follow the same fucking charts that happened in 2012 after where it is now. It's absolutely ridiculous, bro. And so anyways, if you remove 2012 from the equation and we look at 2017, you have 1 cycle. And then you're just like, and I'm sorry, you can pull up any chart. You can look up at any freaking chart, any Bitcoin chart, any chart you want. And you can open up this file cabinet of examples and be like, well, this chart, no. Well, this chart, no. This chart matches perfectly. Look at this. I'm an expert. I'm a genius. Like, I'm sorry, man. Everybody always wants to look at like past data and apply their charts and look like experts. And you're applying a chart to something that was a baby. And now it's like a full-grown adult.
Babies. So you're saying you hate babies?
I love babies.
I can't with you, bro.
But the one baby I don't like is this baby right here. This baby.
All right. While Rocco's looking up, there's one more article I'm gonna talk about, and this is here we go.
Historical snapshot.
$134.
$134. So people want to compare the movement of Bitcoin when it was at $134. The market cap was $1 billion.
That's for the whole market, right? Yeah, Bitcoin is at 1.5.
Yeah. And people are like, well, if you look what happened in 2013, what are you talking about? You leave 2013 out of this. It has nothing to do with it. That's like evaluating somebody's jump shot when they're in elementary school and then being like, well, you know, he really worked on his form and
gotta start somewhere.
You know, he worked on his form in third grade. This is when he transitioned over from a step back and then shoot. And then now, like, I'm serious, man. Like, why? If you're gonna compare somebody's, you know, technical jump shot, do it when they were in college. Don't go all the way back to elementary school. That's all I'm saying.
Anyways, last article. Apple user loses $650,000 in seconds as iCloud hack exposes MetaMask vulnerability. So you're going to want to pay attention to this, especially if you have a MetaMask wallet and an iPhone. In one of the most recent hacking incidents, an attacker managed to steal a person's entire collection of cryptocurrencies and NFTs worth more than $650,000 from their MetaMask crypto wallet, as reported by CNET on April 18th. This is the guy right here, Dominic Iacovone. This is how it happened. Got a phone call from Apple, literally from Apple, on his caller ID. It said Apple. I called it back because I suspected fraud, and it was an Apple number, so I believed them. They asked for a code that was sent to my phone, and 2 seconds later, my entire MetaMask was wiped. Ouch. And listen to this. To provide an explanation, a security expert nicknamed Serpent said that iCloud automatically stores the seed phrase file of the person's wallet if the MetaMask app is used on the iPhone. Automatically stores your seed phrase on the iCloud if you have MetaMask on your phone. I have MetaMask on my phone, and I read this morning, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. So now, if no one has access to your iCloud, they can't do anything. But still, the whole point of a seed phrase is for it to not live on the internet so people can get into your wallet. So, Robin, what are your thoughts?
I don't know, man. It's a strange situation. On one hand, I feel very secure with Apple. You know, they have my credit cards and stuff on there. You know, there's always those, you know, when somebody like a criminal or something gets apprehended and the prosecutors want to access the iPhone and they can't. And they go to like litigation with Apple and they're like, we ain't unlocking it. And there's literally no recourse for a prosecutor to access. So basically, Apple is super secure. So it's not the end of the world. But do I like it?
For this guy, $650,000.
You know what? But he got fished, bro. He got fished. You get fished anywhere. You know, if I get a message from an Apple ID number and they ask me, hey, what's your 6-digit PIN code to unlock your phone? Do you feel like that's Apple's fault?
But sometimes no. But sometimes when you call support of a company to verify your account, they'll say, we've sent you a passcode. What is it?
And in the bottom of the passcode, they'll literally be like, our employees will not ask you for the passcode. Literally every single time I've gotten one of those, I have like 1,000 of them from Coinbase.
It's different when you're on the phone with them, though, bro. When they're trying to verify your account, they will do that. You don't believe me? Ask Rocco. This man is telling you.
Well, the thing was
no, it does happen. But another thing, so you don't leave a $650 million in a MetaMask. You move it to a cold wallet. You don't leave it there.
Yeah.
You don't leave it in a MetaMask.
There's a lot of points of failure that this dude could have avoided. First of all, what the hell are you doing putting half a billion dollars on a MetaMask wallet?
$650,000, not million.
And not to mention, I mean, here's the thing. If let's just say theoretically speaking, here's another exploit. Dude could be like, yeah, I got $500 million of Bitcoin. Because people that got $500 million of Bitcoin like to say they got $500 million worth of Bitcoin. If I had $500 million worth of Bitcoin, your boy gonna be walking around the streets like, yo, I got $500 million worth of Bitcoin. So anyways, what ends up happening when somebody's like, yo, I want your Bitcoin. And you're like, and they just like walk up to you and be like, unlock your phone. Like, no. Be like, unlock your phone. That's my earpiece. It's a little itty bitty gun. Unlock your phone. And that's it. It's gone. So anyways, why put yourself at risk? So why put yourself at risk and have it on there? And then why trust a number that says Apple? Because that's basically a caller ID. The same way that you get one that says telemarketing, the same way that you get one that says blah blah blah's doctor's office at the top. You can change it to say Apple.
Don't talk about blah blah blah's doctor's office. They're actually really good doctors.
I love blah blah blah's doctor's office.
Okay,
as well.
Yeah. Let's go back to my laptop real quick because here's a solution for you guys if you're worried. You can disable iCloud backups for MetaMask specifically by turning off the toggle here, and it tells you settings, profile, iCloud, manage storage, backups, and then there you go. So this is directly tweeted from MetaMask. So if you want to go find that out, go look for yourself.
Question about fishing here. You ever go fishing, David?
I don't like fishing.
You don't?
No.
How do you call yourself a grown adult, a man, and you don't like fishing? Just saying, man. It's part of
that question.
It's part of growing up.
Yeah.
He said you need to like fishing. Rocco, you like fishing? Yeah,
there you go.
He's never fished either.
There you go.
Good Lord, what's going on?
I fished. I just don't like it.
You would. You guys can't hear Rocco. He doesn't
talking
have
about the
microphone.
magic mushrooms or the
But
regular mushrooms?
he's like, I like to go find mushrooms. And I'm like, porcini mushrooms are really good. In case y'all didn't know, before I became a full-time analyst here.
Broke Yoshi said there's a new Apple product
chef.
coming, the earbud eye gun. Maybe we could shoot some common sense into Robin's head. All right. We're done with our there was one more thing I wanted to go over, but we're running a little behind. So we'll go over that tomorrow. It's not very time
Is
sensitive.
it the Nestle NFTs?
No, that one I X'd.
Yeah.
Andre Cronje.
You know what? I found this amazing article on Nestle and
apparently
David,
up until this morning,
and
Robin
David,
had no idea
David
how to
just
pronounce
shot down
Nestle.
the whole idea.
No, Robin
he was like,
no.
he's like, this is a non-story, and I'm like, bro, Nestle NFTs is gonna change the world. I'd rather get a Nestle NFT than a Shiba Inu coin. I'll just say that.
Good for you. You don't even have an NFT, so you have no room to talk.
This might be my first NFT.
Probably will be. No,
It might have a golden ticket to a Willy Wonka factory.
Weird ass. All right, let's get on to our very last segment, our market analysis. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up the my laptop here, Roquito. So, daily volume 83.6 billion for the overall cryptocurrency market. Not very high. We want to see over 100 billion to be like, oh, shit's moving. Bitcoin dominance is down to 41.1. ETH dominance continues to be above 19%. Again, we have Bitcoin holding steady at 41,400. ETH above 3K. Binance Coin, talked about this yesterday. Project I am slowly accumulating because I think it is grossly undervalued. Then you have XRP. Solana, $106. So Forrest came on our show on Friday, and he talked about $100, $101 being a great entry point for Solana. So if you listen to him, which obviously nothing says financial advice, but if you followed his technical analysis and you decided for yourself that indeed it was a good entry, you would have made $6 per coin already. So multiply that by 100 or whatever the amount may be. Not bad. Terra Luna has been on a tear. $94. Will it get to all-time highs of over $110, $115? Who knows? But we know with the UST, every time UST is minted, Terra Luna is burned. And with Bitcoin tied to Terra Luna's UST, could be in correlation. So Cardano's slipping to number 9, 94 cents. A lot of stuff's happening behind the scenes. I know it's like beating a dead freaking horse. It's happening. It's coming. It's happening. It's coming. They're building. It's happening. They're building. It's happening. But they're building.
Hold on. When have you beaten a horse, bro? Or especially a dead one, bro. Just saying that. Like, at what point do you find yourself standing over a horse, beating it up while it's dead?
Okay. Then rounding out the top 10, we have Avalanche sitting at $79. I picked up some Avalanche at $72. Anything under 80, in my opinion, is a great buy for Avalanche. You got a market cap of only $21 billion. It's nothing. This should easily be in the Binance area. So Avalanche, Terra Luna, Cardano, Solana should be about 100 billion, 120 billion. BNB should be about 3/4 of what Ethereum is. And so we're not there yet. So there's a lot of room to grow for these coins. All right. I want to go over some statistics or some metrics. So here we have the Bitcoin hodl waves. So what this represents is the age of coins in circulation. When we start from the bottom, you have coins that have been circulating for 24 hours. Then you go to the next band, 1 day to 1 week, 1 week to 1 month, 1 month to 3 months, 3 months to 6 months, 6 to 12 months, and then you have 1 to 2 years, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, and 7 to 10, and then the purple one is 10 plus years. So the way this metric works, whichever band starts expanding, that is the amount of that is the average age of token. So when you have the 10-year band, which is this top purple one, as it is expanding, that means more of the supply that's currently out there on Bitcoin has been held for longer than 10 years. Same thing with the blue one right underneath it. And you can see this is from April of 2019. You can see the short-term bands are getting smaller and the longer-term bands are getting wider. Take this dark green one, for example. This is Bitcoin that's been held for 3 to 5 years. And if I do this, there you go. You can see it isolated. Since July of 2020, it has been expanding, and up of very recently, January of this year, it has continued to expand. So people are hodling. They continue to hodl their coins. There's more old coins in circulation now when it comes to hodling than there are younger ones. And if you just take the 1 week to 1 month, you can see those bands are constricting, which is the opposite. So this is great news if you're a hodler. Also, I wanted to take a look at what do the order books look like for Binance, the world's largest exchange. And this breaks it down. So over the last 24 hours, it's about 50-50. There was about 19,500 Bitcoin that were bought and 19,400 being sold, which is why you see Bitcoin consolidating. If you look at the 1 hour trade, 47% of the Bitcoin was bought and 52%. And then if you go down into 15 minutes, so overall, more people are selling their Bitcoin now than they are buying, and this updates in real time. Like, just look at the last minute. 73% of the Bitcoin that was bought and sold was sold. So this website is cryptometer.io. So if you want to check it out yourself, you can see. But this kind of gives you a gauge of A, market sentiment, and B, what are people doing? And we can see now, although it's not a lot, but if you take the 30-minute, 1 hour, and the 24-hour, majority of people are selling their Bitcoin. Majority of these are going to be miners. Please keep that in mind. Hodlers just continue to hodl. So, yeah, just look at that when you, if you ever want to see what might be the price of Bitcoin moving forward. So, I want to look at Crow token. So, we actually, our deep dive on Crow is going to be coming here in the next couple days. It's going to be a really, really good one, kind of an overview on Crow. But I want to talk about their Crow token. Now, Crow token was just essentially used for staking and paying for fees, but with the Kronos chain, it now powers the Kronos smart chain. And you can see we've kind of been in this symmetrical triangle. And with symmetrical triangles, we do tend to break sometimes to the upside, sometimes to the downside. You don't really know. It just depends on the market sentiment and overall market landscape when you're looking at it. But if I throw the Bollinger Bands on here, you can see what the volatility is looking like. And we're trading towards the lower band of this Bollinger Band. And typically you can see with the ebbs and flows of the markets, you get to the lower band, you come up to this average, dip down, upper band, lower band. So if I'm looking at an entry point on Crow, I would have zero issue buying Crow. Forrest talks about this all the time, and it's pretty standard across all TA platforms. Keep it simple, buy support, sell resistance. Right now, we on this trend line here, we are at support right around 40 cents. Trading at 41 cents. So if you're looking in the Crow token, not financial advice, but if you're looking to buy, now would be a good time to buy. And was there any other thing else I wanted to look at?
Polygon. Matic.
Oh, okay. Let me look at Bitcoin real quick. So I've kept this pattern on here. So this is a massive bear flag, which if you missed it, typically breaks to the downside. But we see a lot of volume and a lot of buying pressure that's kind of pushed us into this 41,400 range. Now, if we get to the top of this pattern, okay, we're looking at right here, 49,737. If we get rejected, we're coming all the way back down to 40, possibly down to 35.9. It just depends on the sentiment of the market. Now, charts and technicals are never 100%, and this could all literally go by the wayside if a spot ETF gets adopted, another country announces they're accepting Bitcoin, whatever the case may be. Any sort of big bullish news, charts and patterns will literally go out the window. So, but this kind of gives us an idea of where possibly the price of Bitcoin can go. I think we're going to get, I don't think we're going to get all the way to the top here. I do think we'll kind of get to this middle range here, 44,500, and then get rejected again. But I know Nostradamus, so I can't tell the future. But just looking at the numbers, the technicals, that's kind of what I'm seeing. And then Polygon Matic. So, so this might be. So this is a descending channel, and descending channels typically break to the upside. So there you go, Robin. Might see a breakthrough on Matic for you, buddy. And another thing I like to look at too is this bottom. So this is what's called the Arun indicator. So essentially, when the green is above the red, we are in an uptrend. I back tested this indicator about 3 months. Like, I physically did it myself, and I know there's probably software that does it for you.
Physically did it? Like, you grabbed the line
like I
with your
wrote
hands?
numbers down. When they crossed, wrote the price, and then when they crossed again, wrote the price. And it's like 85 to 90% accurate. So before I get into a trade, I like to see where the Arun indicators tell me it is. If I see a cross coming or a cross has happened, that typically just kind of puts the stamp of approval on the trade. It looks like we're not...
Approved by Arun.
Approved by Arun. We're definitely not consolidating, right? Because these will be going the same way. So we might see a cross in the near future.
You know,
and if it does, I would
speaking
expect
of approved by Arun, we were looking at our old deep dive videos, and you know the value that we brought there was pretty laughable because your boy was over here. The only thing I did at these deep dives was, David was going through, doing his thing, and then I just interjected and just made fun of him. It just made fun of him, literally. Kind of like I do with the show now, but in deep dive format. Just didn't really work out too well. So,
the best decision we ever made was to just let me do the deep dives myself.
Yeah.
Not have an old peanut gallery over there. Oh, yeah, so, Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin? That was the name of my parrot back in high school. DR Crypto. Broke Yoshi founder. Yeah, we used to be DR Crypto. Terrible name.
Yeah,
we are Sin City Crypto.
There was a you guys. You know what? Hold on. I got a little treat for you guys.
It is hot as shit in here, bro.
Let's take a look. Hold on a second.
Go ahead. Just go to Robin. I gotta go turn this AC
on. Oh man, it's so bad. So, I got a little treat for you guys here. Where is it? Oh wow. This was. These are private. Let's see. What is this? Rough Draft, Episode 1, Beware, Crappy Audio. Oh, man. Let's take a look at this. This was a little treat for you guys. I don't even know if this thing will load. It's so old. It's probably like on some...
What's up? Crypto fam? Welcome to DR Crypto. Coming at you from Sin City. My name's David. That's Robin. We're here to talk crypto. To the wall.
Let's talk crypto. Welcome to the show, guys. First ever episode. So
save this, okay? Save it. We're gonna go back to it.
Well, for our dedicated viewers,
we pause it real quick.
Hold on, y'all hear my bird in the background?
Yeah. Okay, just pay attention to my lips. I just do this weird shit with my lips.
You still do it?
No, I don't. I was like chewing on my lip.
Yeah.
I do need.
I wear the hat forward in this video. That's an interesting one. Yeah, you like that was at our
my favorite Robin's intro. Let's talk crypto, or his my favorite one. This is crypto. Like what?
I was trying to find myself. Okay.
Well, you haven't done that yet, so keep looking.
So you can come back, watch the first episode, and see what this unpolished microphone was terrible, bro. Look like.
Wow, that's
look at this microphone here.
Any credit,
What
huh?
is this?
That's messed up, man.
So who are we?
Really messed up.
Who are we? Who are you, David? What are we?
We're just a couple dudes, man. A
Couple dudes.
Couple dudes. We love crypto.
That's it.
We love just crypto's where it's at, man. And we're just really tired of.
Well, what a great first episode. We just love crypto. Yeah, what a place. I hear a bird.
Terrible.
Boring.
My God.
No, this is good. It's all the same narrative. It's like go over charts and talk about what the news story is.
Draw triangles, pull up.
Regurgitated.
Yeah.
As I'm drawing triangles. Now.
That's definitely not what we want to do here. The idea of our channel is to bring you content and information, but in a fun way to and to not bore you to death. So, Robin does not believe in subscribers and likes. I do.
Me and David,
So this dumbass goes, "Hey man, I'm just gonna say I don't want anyone to subscribe. I don't want anyone to like." I'm like, what? That's literally how YouTube works. So his whole thing in the beginning of our channel was, "Oh, I don't subscribe, don't like the video," and I'm over here like this dumbass.
Do you like the look of the loft? So that's at my house. That's the loft at my house.
My screen was way too busy. Your background actually looked good.
Yeah, mine actually looked pretty good.
He said, "Was that 2 weeks ago?" Hey, watch your mouth, sir, babe.
We'll play a couple more minutes and then we'll wrap it up. Butt heads a lot. Which is kind of the core idea behind our show. Very naturally and platonic. We're going to have different viewpoints.
Okay, what does that mean, platonic? I don't.
That's what people in long-term relationships say to each other when they're nice and cush, So
Yeah. Okay. Let's try to use words that I know. Okay.
Kush. It's also
no Kush. I know Kush.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think David should get back to wearing the headset. What do you think?
Hell no.
The headset's a good look on you, bro. You know
Platonic,
Kush as
platonic.
a different kind of Kush.
That's not true.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Anyways.
And as you see, not much has changed. We're still talking about nothing that has to do with crypto. We are 2 minutes in the video, and literally we've said crypto is good. That was pretty much it.
He said, "This is crypto." All right, I'm done with this, man.
Hold on.
Anyways, so if we do agree on something, it's few and far between.
Yeah. So. We had a good production here. Look, we had the two videos. I would say maybe about 5% of my. Let's see. One last thing. Let's see what we got to say here. Make less than $250,000. And if you spread that across annually,
hold on.
We're done with this.
All right,
we've gotten past this stage of our
Mr.
lives.
Producer, roll the outro. All right, guys.
Bitcoin balling, the top calling. Yeah.
No,
we should make that our outro. I think we should make it our intro. What do you think? The Bitcoin balling. I like the Bitcoin balling song. I think it'd be a great intro, bro.
We were in the same room, Russell. Anyways, we love you guys. We hope you had fun. We had a great time. Come back tomorrow, same time, 10:30 in Vegas time. On behalf of myself, Rock on Robin. Till next time, peace.
I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink weed, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink weed, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Smoking on the island, say she wanna ride with me. Took her on a flight, said all her bags from Italy. I sent her with a friend, they shopping there religiously. Whoa, yeah. You say she love me, but that's when she rockin' Prada bag. Said she ready for the next, I won't not so fast. Slow down, girl, don't you crash. Whoa, yeah. Cause we can mess up that pretty face, but we can fuck up that pretty lace. Tryna kiss up, I'm in your place. Man, this shit so crazy. Never thought I'd be doing shit like this again. Put that effort in, girl, then I repay you. Crash that thing out the park, now I feel like Babe Ruth, baby. This shit I can't do, baby. No, I can't move, baby. Nothing I can't prove, baby. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey.